Banger after banger.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Big Hero Chris back at you with another one. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, give me a thumbs up, ring the notification bell, hit me up on Twitter, TikTok, the community posts. You already know the vibes, man. And I'm back at you with the NXT review. And before I even get into the review, man, congratulations are in order, because this time next year, NXT will be on a new channel. It will no longer be on the USA Network. Starting October 2024, NXT will be on the CW. Wow. And that's pretty major, man. That's a pretty good look for NXT, considering the fact that, you know, the NWA was supposed to have a deal on CW. I don't know if that deal is still going through or not. I know recent activities at their latest pay-per-view involving, you know, a little bit of snow. That's a little up in the air. I don't know. But one thing I do know is next year, October 2024, set your channels, set your reminders. NXT will be on the CW network. And what better way than to kick off this celebration than with the main event angle between Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams, man. This is like the $1 million question. Who attacked Trick Williams? I've been trying to figure this out for the longest. I've been polling people. I've been asking around. Is it the 1994 Denver Broncos? Is it Carmelo Hayes? We don't know, man. Hopefully, after this episode of NXT, we were supposed to get some type of answers, but we're actually left with more questions than answers, because, you know, throughout the episode, Carmelo Hayes is being questioned. He's asked, like, hey, man, did you do it? What's going on with you and Trick? Why did you look so shook when Trick came back? And he said he was going to answer the questions at the end of the night. So we get to the end of the night. Carmelo's out. He's asking for Trick to come out. Trick's looking upset, man. And I'm thinking he's upset because he knows who attacked him. Turns out the reason Trick was so upset is because, you know, all this time, Trick's always had Carmelo's back, man. He's always been Trick Melo game. It's always been in the best interest of Carmelo. But Trick feels like, yo, man, how come the feeling hasn't been reciprocated? You know what I'm saying? Trick's upset because he got attacked and Carmelo wasn't there, allegedly. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And Carmelo's like, word, so you don't know who attacked you? And Trick's like, that's what you get from this? So even though Trick doesn't know who attacked him, it's still leaning towards Carmelo, because Carmelo is still looking guilty. Like, yo, like he's looking like he essentially got away with murder. And as they're talking, out of nowhere, Lexus King pulls up out of nowhere with his weird haircut and his Dominican shape up. I don't know what he's got going on with his beard, but he's out there. He's trying to stir the pot. He's instigating. And he's pretty much saying that, oh, do you think Trick, or do you think Carmelo attacked you, or do you think someone else? And he's kind of like alluding to maybe he did it. We don't know what his problem is. Like, he's out here, he's just looking like he's looking. But in the midst of this, man, he's getting everybody riled up. He's getting everybody fired up. And in the midst of them talking, Trick accidentally punches Carmelo smack dab in the mouth. And Trick is like, yo, I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry. But Carmelo, he's looking kind of pissed. So, is this the face of a man that's guilty? Is he showing his hand a little bit too much? Again, I don't know, man. We still have more questions than we have answers. My whole thing is, where is NXT Anonymous? They're always creeping and crawling and all up in the mix. But how come we don't have any footage of what happened between Trick and Carmelo? Allegedly. So yeah, we have more questions than we have answers. We don't know who attacked him. We don't know who attacked Trick. We don't know if it's Carmelo. We don't know if it's Lexus King. We don't know if it's those damn 1994 Denver Broncos. We don't know. Hopefully we'll come out. The truth will be revealed. We'll have more answers in the upcoming weeks. But what we do know about this week's episode of NXT is it started off with the Heritage Cup. It started off with Tozawa. It started off with Noam Dar. And this was a fun match. And I gotta say this, man. It's been really fun to see, you know, Akira Tozawa getting more TV time. You know, normally he's in the background. He's always making faces, or he's always like running away. So it's good to see him, you know, getting some more TV time. Last night on Raw, he wrestled Nakamura, and tonight he wrestled Noam Dar for the Heritage Cup. Now, even though the odds were pretty even with the Alpha Academy and Metaphor being out there, it still wasn't enough for Tozawa to, you know, become the new winner of the Heritage Cup. Noam Dar ended up winning due to shenanigans. He got the win, but after the match, you saw the Alpha Academy beating up Booker T's main man, Oro Mensah. So that was pretty funny. And then it was revealed that we're going to be seeing a lot more of the Alpha Academy, because they were backstage and they said that they're going to be here on NXT next week, and they're going to be on the Supernova sessions. My bad, my apologies. And on top of all that, Otis is getting a match against Drew Gulak. So, you know, there's that. After this, we had a backstage segment with the NXT women. You know, we got Kalani Jordan and Lola Vice, and they're talking about the whole breakout tournament and how Lola Vice won the contract. And then you had Elektra Lopez talking. Then you had Roxanne Perez. She came out of nowhere. She's talking trash. And the whole time in the background, you had Ariana Grace. Like, she's like trying to be a motivational speaker. She's like offering words of encouragement while these four women are talking trash to each other. So that was pretty funny. So this sets up a tag team match between these four later in the show. We had the new NXT Women's Champion Lyra Valkyria making her way to the ring. She's talking, the crowd is chanting, "You deserve it." And she's, you know, talking about how much, you know, the title means to her and how much Becky Lynch means to her and blah, blah, blah. And out of nowhere, Xia Li pulls up, man. Xia Li's been running amok on Monday Night Raw, knocking out people. She even knocked out Becky Lynch, caused Becky Lynch a shot at the being the number one contender for the Women's Championship on Raw. So, you know, Xia Li, she's out here, she's saying she wants championships, and she might even take Lyra's championship. And then you have security come out, they're trying to break up a potential fight between the two, and Xia Li ends up knocking out one of the security guards. So I'm assuming that either on an episode of NXT or at Deadline, it's going to be Xia Li versus Lyra Valkyria, and that should be a pretty solid match, man. So throughout the show, you had Mick Foley, and you had promo packages, you know, hyping up the Iron Survivor Challenge. And Mick Foley, they revealed that it's gonna be like different legends, you know, picking the opponents for the Iron Survivor Challenge, like to see who qualifies. And this week you had Mick Foley picking Fallon Henley and Tiffany Stratton for the women, and Dijak and Tyler Bate for the men. And as far as the women goes, Tiffany Stratton ended up beating Fallon Henley. And there was one spot during the match where Tiffany Stratton just threw this poor woman out of the ring. Like, she tossed her through the middle rope and like tossed her out like she was yesterday's trash. And that was pretty brutal. Tiffany Stratton ended up winning with the prettiest moonsault ever. So she advances. So she qualifies for the Iron Survivor Challenge at Deadline. And you also had Tyler Bate taking on Dijak, and they had promo packages, you know, talking about what they wanted to do as far as advancing for the Iron Survivor tournament or the Iron Survivor match or whatever. And surprisingly, I was actually thinking that Tyler Bate was going to win, but Dijak ended up getting the win over Tyler Bate. And I'm like, okay. So I don't know what they're doing with Tyler Bate. Like, either he's going to stay on NXT or he goes to the main roster. I'm thinking that he's going to link up with the Brawling Brutes, because that would make the most sense, because I don't know what they're going to do with Sheamus. So if for whatever reason Sheamus, you know, isn't around anymore, you can easily slide Tyler Bate in there with the Brawling Brutes. Or you can do that if Sheamus is around. I don't know, but, you know, do something with Tyler Bate. I don't know. After this, you had a backstage segment between Wes Lee. He's back, you know. He's saying like he had to take a little bit of time off to get his mind right to figure things out. But he's back now, and he wants to get his hands on his North American Championship. And he wants to slap Dominic Mysterio in the face. And then out of nowhere, hating ass, bum ass, bald ass Baron Corbin comes out. And, you know, he's talking trash to Wes Lee. So it's looking like they're going to throw down somewhere in the near future. You know, Baron Corbin, you know, just walking around the locker room, walking around NXT, being a big giant hater. I saw someone describe him as being the guy that graduated high school, but he still hangs around the high school and he just messes around with the high school kids or whatever. So that's pretty much Baron Corbin in a nutshell. After this, we had the grudge match, the revenge, a match so big that you had a promo from the referee in charge of the match saying that, he's going to use his discretion as far as Bron Breakker and Von Wagner because, Bron Breakker tried to kill this man. He tried to kill his best friend. So they're going to settle it in the middle of the ring in a good old wrestling match. And for what it was worth, man, I got to say that Shawn Michaels definitely deserves Booker of the Year. I don't know if he's going to get it or not. Solely for the reason that he got me and a lot more people invested in Von Wagner, because when this man first pulled up, I didn't give less than a damn about Von Wagner. But here we are all these months later, caring about Von Wagner, caring about his health, caring about the fact that him and Mr. Stone are friends now. So, good for friendship, good for them. The power of friendship was not enough for Von Wagner to defeat Bron Breakker, who has the best spear in the business. He speared the hell out of this man. Bron Breakker ended up getting the win, but Von Wagner did get his justice. He put Bron Breakker through the announce table. There was candy flying everywhere, and he had the power of friendship. So good for them, I guess. I don't know. So after this, they had the tag team match between the women I was talking about. Ariana Grace was out there, while you had Lola Vias and Elektra Lopez taking on the team of Roxanne Perez and Kalani Jordan. And Kalani ended up getting the win with the split-legged moonsault. She pinned Elektra Lopez. But once again, the star of the show was Ariana Grace, man. What she's doing is essentially the I don't want to say prom queen or homecoming queen, but she's the pageant queen of NXT or whatever. And she's she's just very entertaining. Like I mentioned before, she's Santino Marella's daughter, so the apple clearly doesn't fall very far from the tree. So as far as all 5 of these women are concerned, man, they're all entertaining. They're all going to be very bright stars going forward in the future. Except for that Carmen Petra, whatever her name is, she attacked that poor Ariana Grace after the match, man, who did nothing wrong. She put her dirty hands on her queen or whatever. So I wasn't a fan of this, and the NXT Galaxy wasn't a fan of this as well. So she got booed out of the building. You leave Ariana Grace alone, you mean woman, you. So I had a couple of promo packages. First, the Brawling Brutes. They were talking about OTM, and last week OTM was talking about how they're gangsters and they're from the streets and blah blah blah. So this week you had the Brawling Brutes talking about how they're from the streets, but it's British streets, so it's proper streets in it and bruv and whatever. So they're saying stuff and they're dressed like they're out of a BBC special or whatever. And then after this, you had Joe Gacy. He's doing another promo and he's talking and saying a whole bunch of gibberish. I wasn't paying attention. But after this, you had Otis taking on Drew Gulak. And I gotta say, man, it's looking like the Alpha Academy, they're having an absolute blast being in NXT, especially Otis, man. He's happy to be back. He beat Drew Gulak, just powerbomb this man straight to hell, hit the caterpillar. He's wiggling his hips and flexing or whatever. So, good for him, good for Alpha Academy. And I gotta say this before it's all said and done, before the Alpha Academy goes back to the main roster, there has to be some type of interaction between the Alpha Academy and Chase U. That's all I want, man. That's all I need in life. I need it more than water, air, and oxygen. And speaking of Chase U, the last thing I'm going to talk about is the fact that Andre Chase, man, it looks like he's in a little bit of trouble. So a group of people affiliated with the D'Angelo family, they pull up to Chase U. They give JC Jane this envelope. JC Jane goes to look inside the envelope to see what's up. She sees what's inside the envelope. Andre Chase isn't too happy about this. He's upset. We have no idea what's going on with Andre Chase and the D'Angelo family. All we know is that there's going to be a rematch next week on NXT for the NXT Tag Team Championships. The D'Angelo family taking on Chase U. Who knows what nefarious schemes and mischief is Andre Chase is involved in, man. We don't know. Only time will tell what is going on in Chase U. My God. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, another episode of NXT in the books. Listen, it's no surprise to anybody that NXT is my favorite weekly wrestling show. More than Dynamite, more than Collision, more than Raw and SmackDown, I love NXT, man. It's consistent, it's entertaining, it's goofy, it has attractive women, it has wrestling, it has all the things that I look for in a wrestling show. So, you know, it gets the honorary W. Good luck to NXT in the future, man. We'll see you in a year on the CW. But with that being said, man, what did you think of this week's episode of NXT? Who attacked Trick Williams? And why was it Carmelo Hayes? Let me know in the comment section below. Of course, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. You guys take care. Be easy. I'm out. Peace.